Hello friends! In 1932, something very strange happened in Australia. The country started a war. Not against another country or group, but against a bird. Yes, a bird called the emu. And surprisingly, the emus made the Australian military struggle badly. It may sound odd. Why would anyone need a full military operation against birds? But Australia actually did it, and ended up losing. Let's look into this strange story. After World War I, the whole world was suffering from a big economic crisis called the Great Depression. Australia was affected too. Farmers were not growing anything because the prices of goods were so low, they couldn't even earn enough to cover their costs. If this continued, the country wouldn't have enough food for itself. To solve this, the Australian government forced farmers to grow wheat. They promised to buy the wheat at good prices. Farmers agreed and started growing crops. But when the wheat was ready, the government went back on its promise and offered very low prices. The farmers got angry and decided not to sell their wheat, so they didn't harvest the crops. The government still needed the wheat, but was trying to pressure the farmers. They thought the crops would get ruined by pests if not harvested. But they didn't expect what happened next. Something worse than pests arrived. The breeding season of emus, large birds found only in Australia, had just ended. After breeding, these birds migrate. As they moved from inland Australia to the coast, they saw the ready wheat fields in Western Australia. A group of 20,000 emus entered the fields and started eating the crops. Emus are about 5.5 feet tall and weigh around 45 kilograms. Each one can eat about 2 kilograms of food a day. So, with 20,000 emus, they destroyed about 20 to 25 acres of wheat fields in just one day. For the first couple of weeks, farmers tried chasing them away. But by then, around 300 to 350 acres had already been destroyed. Things were getting serious. When the government heard about this, they acted quickly. They saw the emus as a big threat. The only fast solution they could think of was a military operation. Yes, the government asked the army to attack the emus. The media later called this strange action the Great Emu War. The army, which had recently fought World War I, thought this would be an easy job. They sent some soldiers with machine guns and thousands of bullets to Western Australia. It seemed like a simple task, but as soon as the operation began, heavy rain started. The emus spread out over a large area, making it hard to aim at them. Because of this, the attack had to be postponed for a month. On November 2nd, 1932, soldiers got news that some emus were seen near a village called Campion. When they got there, local people tried throwing stones at the birds to gather them. But instead of grouping up, the emus ran away. Let us tell you, emus have very strong legs and can run up to 70 kilometers per hour. In those conditions, soldiers fired at them. But only 5 to 7 emus were killed. The rest disappeared into the fields like stars vanishing in daylight. The first attack was a complete failure. Out of 20,000 emus, they killed just a few. After a few days, the soldiers decided to hide in the fields and wait for the emus to come close. Then they would shoot. This time, about 1,000 emus entered the fields. When they got close, the soldiers opened fire, but their machine gun jammed. Only about 24 emus were killed. Before they could fix the gun, the rest ran away. This second attack also failed badly. Next, the soldiers moved south from Campion, where more emus were found. If they were to succeed, this was the place. But this time, they noticed something very surprising about the emus. The emus were moving in groups, and each group had a kind of leader. The rest of the birds ate the crops while the leader kept watch. If any danger was near, the leader warned the group, and they all ran away. The soldiers were tired from chasing them. This war against emus was turning out to be very tough. So, the army decided to change its strategy. They planned to put a machine gun on a moving vehicle. They would chase the emus and shoot from the vehicle. It sounded smart, but it didn't work. The rough fields made it hard for the soldiers to aim. They fired many bullets, but only one or two hit the emus. In one attempt, while driving fast off-road, an emu got stuck in the steering wheel, and the vehicle crashed into bushes. In total, they fired 2,000 rounds and only managed to kill 200 emus. This fourth attack and new strategy also failed. The operation was paused. After a few weeks, it started again. This time it was a bit more successful. In total, the soldiers managed to kill about 1,000 emus, but they used 10,000 bullets. That means 10 bullets were needed to kill just one emu. When this was discussed in the Australian Parliament, many politicians made fun of the army. They joked that if anyone deserved a medal, it was the emus for dodging 9 out of 10 bullets. Despite all the effort, only 1,000 out of 20,000 emus were killed. At that time, the operation cost about 1 million Australian pounds, which is more than 100 million US dollars today. It was a huge embarrassment for the Australian Army. The military operation ended. That meant the emus had won the war. Time passed, and the emu population kept growing. Every year, farmers continued to face huge losses. So, the Australian government tried something new. They gave thousands of weapons to the farmers and announced a bounty. Whoever killed the most emus would get a reward. This idea actually worked. By 1934, in just 6 months, 57,000 emus were killed for bounty rewards. But when this news spread internationally, animal rights groups got angry. They criticized the Australian government heavily. People around the world began calling it cruel. Under pressure, the government had to stop the bounty system too. The same government that couldn't control 20,000 emus in 1932 was now facing worldwide criticism. Today, the emu population in Australia is around 600,000 to 700,000. To protect their crops, farmers now build fences around their fields. It's become a normal practice. Right now, wild animals aren't a big danger to Australian farmers. But this strange war against emus will always be remembered in history. I hope you liked this video. Please hit the like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to It's Released. Thank you for your lovely comments. We'll see you in the next amazing video.